Fasting is one of the greatest tools you have at your disposal for overcoming attachment to the mind and to the senses, for developing mental mastery. And we don't use it enough. We've been so conditioned to eat 3 meals a day, to depend on food, to eat even when we're not hungry, to indulge ourselves with the pleasure of eating some of those tasty foods that might not be beneficial for the body. The true purpose of food is to nourish the body when it needs nourishment. And today I'm going to explain to you the many benefits of fasting on both the physical, mental, and spiritual levels. There's so many benefits. And on August 17th, I'm going to be starting a 5-day fast. So if anybody wants to join me for 1, 2, 3, or the full 5 days, please do and get into this habit of fasting. Now, I want to tell you that yesterday, my birthday's coming up in a few days, so I went out to dinner with my mom and had this big meal and really stuffed myself and had a tasty meal. And afterwards, I just kind of felt like crap. Even today, when I woke up, I felt like I had less energy because when we overeat, our body needs to spend that energy digesting the food that could otherwise be used for a mental endeavor, that could otherwise be used to prepare the tissues in the body and fight off disease. So, on the physical level, you're really hampering yourself by eating too much foods or eating the foods that aren't right for you because that's just going to be so much harder to digest and is really going to be a strain on your nervous system and on your mental clarity. You might feel more brain fog because that life force isn't available to express itself through the mind as well. And to illustrate why we need to fast, I want to give you another story, which is, and you're going to see how this is related. We recently just got a puppy, 7, 8 months old, German Shepherd. And, she's super hyper. Any little sound that goes off, she's constantly running over there. When I take her on a walk, she's constantly pulling, wanting to go towards if there's a bird, if there's some type of animal, if there's a scent, she's just trying to pull and go over there. And I just have to keep like yanking her back and teach her to walk alongside me to become disciplined. But she's a puppy and it has a lot of energy, so it's going to take her a while to learn that. And even in the house, every little thing she wants to go chew on it. She's curious about every little thing that pops up. Now, this is the exact same scenario that we're in when it comes to the relationship with our mind. Many times, any thought that comes up, any emotion that comes up, we want to follow that and pay attention to it and get distracted and really fall into that. Any desire that comes up, we want to go chase that and make it happen, right? It's We're constantly being led astray by the misguided impulses and desires of the mind. If you introspect, that's what you're going to realize. And if you've done some spiritual work already, if you've done some introspection already, maybe you've made some progress, but there's still a lot of progress to go. And one of the first ways we can work on this is with food. Oh, I'm hungry. I have a craving for this type of food. Maybe you're not even hungry. I just have a craving for this certain type of to eat a birthday cake, to eat cake or some treat. I have a craving to go eat pizza right now with all these toppings and I want to eat 5 slices, whatever it is. Like, you know, we let the mind guide us into this where if you didn't have that desire and you were just thinking about how do I want to feed the body so that it functions in the best way that it could, that wouldn't be your choice. And that's what we need to get to. And, it's funny because when we are able to get to that point, we can still really enjoy just the simple foods we're eating when we're not overstimulating our dopamine centers with these foods that have been engineered to get us addicted to them with all these flavors, you'll find that you actually really enjoy just eating a nice piece of fruit, eating a salad, eating something healthy. It can be very enjoyable to eat that, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying the food you eat. Just don't take it to excess and to greed where you're overstuffing yourself, right? Now, to further illustrate what the different levels of benefits of fasting are, I'm going to read to you a couple quotes from this book, Man's Eternal Quest, written by the great saint Paramahansa Yogananda. So let's get into it here. This will really give you insight into why this is an important practice. So first, it is overeating for 365 days of the year that creates many kinds of disease. Undeviating regularity in eating, whether the system actually needs food or not, is also a curse to the body. The more you concentrate on the palate, the more disease you will have. To enjoy food is all right, but to be a slave to it is the bane of life. Why should you let nature hurt you? Nature cannot punish you if you are not attached to the body or bound by food. You must recognize that life force is a sustainer of the body, and that's exactly what fasting allows us to do. And there's one more quote I want to read to you here. If your auto is not working properly, you send it to a garage. It runs better for a while, and then something else goes wrong, and you send it back for further repairs. The same must be done for the body. The physical effects of fasting are remarkable. A fast of 3 days on orange juice will repair the body temporarily, but a long fast will completely overhaul it. Your body will feel as strong as steel. But if you want a permanent overhaul, then you must also watch at all times what and how much food you take into your body. In fasting, you must know what to do. That is why proper supervision is necessary for a fast longer than 3 days. I don't advise anyone to make his first fast a long one, for he will become weak. A 1-day fast on fruit each week or a 3-day fast on orange juice each month are good ways to accustom oneself to fasting. The faster must be mentally prepared for those who will immediately begin to sympathize and tell him that he will become sick and die if he doesn't eat. It is true that on a longer fast you may feel weak during the first few days because the life force has been accustomed to dependence on food. But gradually, as the days pass, you no longer feel any weakness. Your life force and spirit become detached from food. You see that the body is sustained by life force alone. And it's so true, and fasting also, when you're in that fast, if you're a spiritual person, it's fine to just do it for the health benefits as well, if that's what you're looking for. But to combine the physical and the spiritual benefits is going to be so powerful. So, what I'd recommend you do is set some intentions for your fast of what do you want to get out of this. And fasting also goes beyond just food. Try and fast from television, from entertainment, from things that are going to stimulate your dopamine centers, and just bask in the presence of God for this time. Increase your ability to commune and to relate to God and to feel that presence and feel that life force that's the actual true sustainer of your body. So, and also with the point on fasting on orange juice, that's actually what I'm going to do for these 5 days. I'm going to just drink 1 or 2 glasses of orange juice a day. And you can do this with any fruit juice, but orange juice is particularly effective because the acidic properties of orange juice are very effective in flushing out the body. Yogananda actually talked about that in one of his lessons. He talked about that orange juice really is good for flushing out the body when you're on a fast. So that's what I'm going to do on this 5-day fast. And like you said, maybe you don't want to start out for 5 days. If you want to join me for just 1, 2, or 3 days, if you're new to fasting, I'd highly recommend it. And to start getting into this practice, fasting 1 day a week, 3 days a month, right? I haven't been fasting as much as I should. I've done a couple fasts this year. I did a 48-hour fast to start out the year, and then I did another one a couple months ago. But I want to get into the habit of fasting more regularly and lessening the dependence of my body on food, right? So to give you some examples of like what intentions might be, I just wrote down my intentions for this fast. I'm going to see if I can remember what those were. The first one was, like I talked about, to just lessen my dependence on food and the things of this world, like also entertainment and things like that, and just be more dependent on God, and to also maintain a healthy, balanced diet and stay away from overindulgence. And my second intention is I'm going to be going on kind of like a spiritual retreat or kind of a work exchange program where I'm going to be staying at a spiritual community in northern Michigan for anywhere from 1 to 3 months. So I want to just prepare myself for that, and also think about what my intentions are going to be for what I want to get out of that experience and what I want to work through spiritually. So those are my two main intentions. There was a third one that kind of also just had to do with building a deeper connection with God and communing with God and going deep into meditation. So yeah, so I really encourage you to join me on this. And if you made it this far into the video, and if this is a topic that interests you, join me on this fasting process. I'm going to be making a video each day from August 17th to August 21st, going over my experience with this fasting process. So stay tuned for that. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on here. I think that nothing's coming to mind. So just, yeah, remember that fasting's, if you ever feel yourself becoming too wrapped up in the desire for food, or just any desire, whether it's lust, whether it's you're spending too much time on social media and YouTube and things of that nature, fasting is a great way to bring you back to that centeredness and to that connection with your life force within and the divinity within you, and to cultivate that relationship with God. So use it. And with all that being said, I hope this was useful and interesting. And I'll see you on the next one, which will probably be August 17th for day one of this fast. So I'll see you there, and stay blessed.